Okay, so far we've converted PDF to vectors. We've then taken those vectors, converted them to G-code. Now we're down to the workshop. We're going to use that G-code on this machine. So far we've only been doing computer work. Today we're actually going to produce parts. So I've got the computer fired up, the machine's turned on, I've got my vacuum hooked up. We're ready to rock and roll. I've already cut the parts I need. First thing we want to do, put down a spoil board or a sacrificial layer so the tool doesn't cut into the table surface and damage the machine. Get that out of the way. Now what we want to do is position our blank in a rough position. We'll just check that that's fairly parallel. 75. Yeah, that's near enough. Then what we'll do, get our finger clamps together. To hold the board down in position. It'll take a little bit of setting up to get this ready to cut. We'll clamp it down as hard as we can. And that's pretty good. Next thing we need is center point. So I'll just go corner to corner. Not rocket science. There's my centre. Now all the code that I've done is based on that point. So the next thing I need is the tool. For this one I'm going to use an engraving bit. Put that in, lock it up. Now I need to set my zeros. My X and Y, I'll just eyeball it. Set my zeros. Z-axis, I use this. That's a zero plate. So what it will do is slowly drive the Z-axis down until the tool touches the plate. So I'll set that and let that do its business. There's all my zeros set. What we need to do now is load the code, push the go button, and that's it. Okay, we've set our zeros. Next thing we need to do is load our G code. So we file, load G code. We're doing the engraving. So we select that. And there is the basic code, or what it'll look like. Where it's blue, that's where the actual engraving is going to take place. The red lines is the rapid over travel, so it'll travel between that engraving and that engraving at its fastest speed. There's all the code involved in engraving. At the moment we're ready to start. Okay, we're all set up to cut. Program's loaded, machine's set up. So let's start the program. Okay, well that's just finished all of its engraving. Time taken is about 11 minutes. So all we'll do now is hit that with a bit of sandpaper, give it a brush out, and then we'll see how we go. So we're going to change the tool. So undo this collar. Remove that. Get my 1/4 inch collet. Get my 1/4 inch bit. Lock it up good and tight. Then we come back and do our 0 point. Put in that position. Hit my 0 Z-axis. And you might just be able to see that moving. Nearly there. Touch. Back up to 15mm. And that's our 0 point set. So we're ready to start doing our roughing. But this time we'll use the extraction system. So we'll start that. Oh, job done. Time taken around 35 minutes. Now we've got a bit of cleaning up to do and we'll come back to it. Well, I've had a bit of a clean up. I've sucked all the MDF dust out of the tool paths. Still a little bit of dust there, but it's not a problem. So what we're going to do now is the finishing. So what I'll have to do is load the file, load G-code, finishing. Now, it's the same parts because we're still cutting in the same shape. I've changed the tool. We've now got a 1/4 inch spiral cut. I've reset the zeros so we're ready to go. So I'll push the start button and off we go. Well, that's the finishing done. That took about 9 minutes. So it's all the cutting that we need to do. Now what we need to do is flip it over, make sure that it is cut through, and if not, we've got quite a bit of sanding to do. Now that's done, we'll move this out of the way because we're finished with it. Grab our spanner. Right, let's pull that out. As they say, the moment of truth. Now that's pretty good. It's missed a couple of spots there. The rest of them are easily cut out with a knife. Some it's gone right through, depending on where the bow is on the material. But what we'll do just run a knife through the tabs that we put in. That's very good, that's nice and neat, clean. And that's a V1. Next B1. And then later on, we just glue that up on the workbench, and they're perfectly sized. There's a couple of witness marks, but for what we're making, it doesn't really matter. So that's it for the machine. That's all the machining we need to do on this. Next, it's all manual work, gluing back onto the bench. All right, well, we're on the workbench now. What we do is break out all these pieces. We've already done 2. In fact, if we shape, they sort of break out a bit. But for the most part, we'll need to cut them. We'll just toss them aside for now. This one. It's finished. We've got 2 more in this one. They're all there. Well, I find it easier to get rid of these tabs here rather than cutting them out by hand. It's easy to just do them on the sander. So I keep that on fairly slow speed. And just lightly sand them away. Basically do that to all of them. Doesn't change the shape at all. It just gets rid of that tab. These will be a little bit difficult. Mainly because of the shape of them. There's the difficulty. So I like to clean the inside tabs later on. That's pretty good. first part of the block's done. Now we've got the main outside part. Same thing. So what we can do is go back to the first one, which is B2, and the next B2, and basically we'll start again. And that's it. A bit of this floor.
Every time that feeling starts. Well, that change in me, baby.
Here's basically the finished job. I've done the cleaning up, sanding around the outside, inside, done all the blocks. I screwed the latches on so they can hold it together. This is where the identification comes in. B1, end block, neck block, B2 in there, A2 and A1. And that's all lines up perfectly and it's ready for the customer.